So first is to add a year to the master agreement. While creating a master agreement, we get this pop-up button, pop-up window where we need to select the year from the drop-down list. The year shown under this drop-down field is as per what has been configured in the manager page. So we can add a new year by going to the manager page. So this is the view that we have in the manager page. And for MLA, we have only 1 year configured, so 9999. And we can go to the manager. We can add a new year by going to the manager page, main page, and select master data configuration over here. Then we can go to the configuration application setting, and number range. And then we can click on this hamburger menu to add number range, and we will get this pop-up window. We can assign a ID to this number range. We can then select which level do we want to apply this number range. So for now, we are adding a year to the MLA. So we can select master lease agreement, and we can type in the lease area. So for me, I have the lease area from 0001 to 9999. That means my entire lease area will have access to this particular number range. And if required, we can select the company code, but I have left it open so that all the companies can have access to this particular number range. And I can select the type in the year that we want to add. And I can select the number range for the MLA IDs. And once we submit it, we will be able to see the new year in the pop-up window. And the the range that we assigned over here, for the MLA IDs will be as per what's set up for the particular new year. And similarly for the contract level, we can go to the master data configuration, and we can go to the application configuration and number range, similar to what we saw for the MLA. And we can add a number range, again similar to what we saw before. We can assign a number range ID. And under description, we can select contract. Before we selected MLA to add a year to the MLA. Right now, we are selecting contract. And similar to what we did in MLA, we can select the lease area from and to. And you can keep the company code open and then select the year that we want to add. And you can set down the contract ID range. So when we submit it, we will be able to see that particular year in the create contract pop-up window. And the display ID will be as per what is set up for the new year. So here I set up contract 2024-0001. So the new contract will start from 0001. Do you have any question?
Was there a question? We weren't able to hear you very well. It's okay. Go ahead, Pratima. Probably some noise.
Yes. So now let's move on to the application. And I can go to the manager page by changing it to manager. And then I can go to the master data configuration from the main menu. And I can select application configuration, application settings, and number range. So for now, let's say I want to add a year to the master lease agreement. Right now, I have the year 999 and 2024. Let's say I want to add 2025 to the system. So I can add, click on the hamburger menu, add, and I can assign a number range ID. So let's say MLA 2025. And for the description, I can select the level at which I want this number range to be applied. So it's master lease agreement. And I want this particular number range to be applied to all my lease area. So I'm just selecting these numbers, and the company code, I'm keeping it open. I want this the number range to be applied to all my company. And here I can select the year that needs to be added, and I can give it a name. So MLA 2025 0001 to MLA 2025 999. And I can submit it. Here I have some, oh no, I can submit it. Now if I go to the main menu, the UI, and create a master agreement, I will have the 2025 over here. We can select it. I can select the lease area and a name, and I can submit it. You can see the display ID for the MLA is 2025-0001, which is what I have applied over here. 0001. And now going to the let's see how to add a year to the contract level. So I can go to the contract. Let's say I want to, let's go to a master agreement. And let's create a contract. Over here, I have the option of selecting 2017, 2022, 2023, and 2024. That's been already configured in the manager page. Let's add 2025 to the list. So here, let's say I'm selecting contract. So here we can see the years that was shown in the pop-up window: 2017, 2023, 22, and 24. I can create another one by clicking on the hamburger menu and adding. And I can name it contract 2025. And under description, we can select the contract level. And similar to what we did in MLA, I want this number range to be applied to all my lease area and the company code. And over here, we can select the year that needs to be added. And I can assign a number range for the master for the display ID 2025-0001 and CO 2025 999. And I can submit it. At this point, if you go to the user interface and create a contract, we will have the option of selecting 2025 as the year. And I can select the company and name, submit it. And here we can see the contract display ID starts from CO 2025-0001. That's what been applied as per what I have configured right now. So CO 2025-0001. Do you have any question?
Hi, Pratibha. It's Manib.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Just a quick question regarding how the system work for copy a contract because we created a ticket recently on that
Mm-hmm.
specifically, and then we get an answer back that it not work for a copy any contract because what happened is, let's say we have a contract that expire in 3 years, and after 3 year we are creating let's say we are creating a new contract.
Mm-hmm.
It is more easier to just copy the contract because the terms kind of the standard terms and conditions are same. However, the dates will be a new and rate will be new.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more easier um, to just copy a contract. So most of the required fields are automatically pop up in there, right? But however, we notice that when we copy the contract, it gives a sequence number that is an old sequence number or a range in this case, like a range. Let's say the contract belongs to 2021. If we are copying the contract, that same contract in 2024, it will give a range starting from 21.
Yes, because if you're copying a contract, let's say I'm copying an old contract,
Hmm.
we have the option of changing just the name. The year and everything will remain the same. That's why the um, it takes the old number range instead of the new one.
So what's the reason behind that? Why we don't have an option here on this page that we can select a new year, so we'll get a new sequence number or range of numbers.
Well,
There is
I,
any
I
any
can
any reason behind that system or?
I can perhaps intervene a bit to give more details. So as Pratibha was mentioning, the copy of the contract, it does copy a lot of the details of the existing copy of the existing contract,
Mhm.
including the definition. And in the definition you have the option to select that year. Now just to put everybody in the context and give a bit more color around your question, not everybody creates a different range by year. We do have a lot of our users and clients that have a very general uh, something like 9999 a year, meaning that they do not separate the numbering range per year. So this is something that they will not necessarily notice. However, Munib, if for your case you need to have a separate ID per year, meaning that you need to create separate range per year, this is possible, but then the copying of the contract is not necessarily a choice. You have to create it from scratch. I understand that you like the copy functionality, but a copy remains a copy. It copies all the details, including the definition side of it.
Yeah, thanks.
You're welcome. So I gather that you are creating a numbering range for every year.
Yes, we already have set up those in numbering years. However, I noticed recently that our contracts are still starting with the old numbering. So then we dig more into it, and then we create a ticket, and then
Mhm.
the response back was the same that you're trying to explain here. But then my question is that there is any possibility or there is any setup that we can do, like a very quick setup in the back end, or a manager, a user can do a change here so it shows another field that we can just change a year.
So that is definitely something that we can further discuss
Mhm,
with our research and development team. But
mhm,
to what I was explaining, this is no longer a copy; it's just a
mhm.
incomplete copy. However, one of the points that I wanted to explore more is like, why do you have different ranges per year? Why do you have this differentiation? If you can explain us a bit more.
So it's basically you can identify from the number exactly. Okay, so this contract started in specific year. So when you see the contract number, you can see, okay, this number is 24. Oh, this contract start might be it's a renewal or something like that, or might be a new contract. It started in 24 or 23. So just for kind of identification from the numbering from the ID.
Mhm. So you are making use of that. I know that SAP has, and then this is very much in line with SAP that allows you to have a different range for all the objects ID for a year. But I was curious if this is still something that it's used, that you are using this in other parts of your ERP, of your accounting.
No, technically not in an accounting. We are not using this one in an ERP accounting site though, or
So
any
you're
report.
not changing the range in other parts of SAP, just
Um, I didn't get that point. Which SAP, like you're talking about the document numbers sequence?
yes, yeah, because
I think.
this is a very much a functionality that emulates
Mhm.
the functionality that SAP has, and a lot of companies have moved away from having different ranges per year. They have a more general range. That's it. So I was wondering if it's the same for you or not.
I, I believe in SAP we use an sequence numbers that changes year and month.
Oh, even deeper than that. Thank you very much. I'm insisting with this question because especially as we are further developing functionality, this is a topic that interests us. And one of the things that our developers were looking into was specifically the year in the numbering range. So
Mhm,
this is very helpful information. Thank you so much. And as I was mentioning to your questioning to a question before on that. We need to work on a different type of copy that it's a partial copy. This is an enhancement and definitely something that we will look into, but it will be more into our next generation than the current version you are actually right now in.
okay. Thanks, Katrina.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Okay, now do anyone have any other question? Okay, now let's move on to adding a new asset class. So under lease component in the asset class section, we can see a list of asset classes that are already configured in the manager page. And in order to add new asset class, we can go to the master um, data configure. Master data configuration to application configuration, and under application setup we can select the asset class mapping. We can add a asset class here by clicking on add, clicking on the hamburger menu and clicking on add. And we can give an internal, we will be able to see the internal asset class mapping pop-up window. We can assign an internal asset class ID and the description. So let's say I want to add the new asset class, let's say example list, and I can just add Sorry. Yeah, I can just add them over here and submit them. Now we have to now we need to determine which tables need to be updated with the new asset class information. We need to consider whether the system is connected or disconnected and our accounting settings. For example, use asset class for account determination, non-lease accounting determination, and asset class for asset account determination, and whether we are using the asset class for IVR determination. And these are the tables that we need to consider specifically if these switches are on. So we need to go to the system configuration, select the system, and then select the company. And then we need to go to the asset setup and the asset class. And over here, we need to add an asset class. We'll see this particular pop-up window, and we can assign the asset class ID and the description, and we can submit them. And then we need to select that particular asset class, and we need to add a depreciation area that's already been configured in your system. And I can just add the depreciation area ID and the description, and I can submit them. And the next table to be updated is the external asset class mapping. Again, we can click on the hamburger menu. We can add a new external asset class. So this one contains the mapping between the asset class defined in the application and the asset classes from the ERP, as well as the useful life for the asset class. So in the pop-up window, we can assign the external asset class ID. We can select the chart of depreciation that should be already configured in your system. And I can select the accounting standard. If you have more than one standard, we will have to create additional external asset class mapping. And then do anyone have any question? Okay, no. And then for the ERP own asset class, we can select the asset added in the asset class earlier. And then we can enter the useful life of the asset. Over here, I have added 10 years and 6 months. And the internal asset class, you must assign the equivalent SAP asset class when lease, finance, lease, operating or owned. And then we can select the new asset class added in the internal asset class from the drop-down. So now if these switches are on, we need to update the following tables too. The asset accounting determination table, accounting determination, and non-lease accounting determination. We can access that.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
Pardon?
Yes, hello, go ahead. We were unable to hear you the first time. Francesco, you had a question? Not sure if you wanted to ask something or it was just some noise.
No, sorry.
No worries, no worries. Go ahead, Pratima.
Yeah. So asset accounting determination should be added for the new asset class created. And if you have any, if any new GL account is required, we can add them by going to the accounting setup and clicking on GL account and adding them. After adding the GL account, we need to map them accordingly. Similarly, we also have to update the accounting determination and non-lease accounting determination. We can select the asset class over here. And again, if you have to create any new GL, we can do so and then map them accordingly. We also have the option of just downloading the system data configuration in Excel and then updating the necessary table, and then uploading the file using the upload button over here. And then you can just update from the pop-up window. We can just select update or insert, select the Excel file, and close. So all the changes that were made will be reflected in the manager page. Do anyone have any question? Okay. So if in any case there is a missing configuration, we can get some error. And in contract activation, the activation might be stuck in activating or reprocess. And during lease modification, the draft might be stuck in merging. It might be because of a missing GL account in accounting determination. And also during the posting transaction, there might be an error message saying GL account missing, which can be corrected by mapping the correct GL account appropriately. So do you have any question? Do you want to add anything to it?
So, just to give a bit more information on the topic, like in many situations you need to make changes or to bring addition to the master data. We realized that the master data was a subject that we left aside in our recent topics that we covered during office hours, so we wanted to come back to that. We did present you the some of the details in application configuration and numbering range, and now the master data, so part of the system configuration, adding an asset class. This is something that you can experience um, during live processes that you have changes like this. And yes, it is a subject for our functional administrators out there, less interesting maybe for the ones that are more focused on the user interface, but it's something that it is very important. It's part of the continuing maintenance that a functional administrator needs to do, and we wanted to point out and to bring this case to you. One of the things that we wanted to highlight, a lot of the errors that you can encounter in a live contract may be due to missing configuration. And one of the most common is missing a specific part of some of the determination table that Pratibha was presenting earlier. So it's very important that you have what we call a complete configuration. Especially with the new asset class, this is a type of change that is very complex because it touches upon many tables in the master data, not just only the asset related tables, but also the determination table, the accounting determination table. So there are many things to consider. It's very important that you do take into consideration the recommended approach. We spoke about this some time ago, maybe 1 or 2 years, but we wanted to give you a refresher on this. As always, you will have the materials available, and our recommendation is to always start with QA, do the test, and then reproduce in production. So with that, I think we are at the end of our topics today. We are welcoming questions, comments if you have.